Meanwhile, in Peru, various organizations held a march to demand more security from the government of Dina Boluarte, whose premier was forced to resign because the Congress was preparing to dismiss him for his insufficient work to combat organized crime. More details with our colleague Ramiro Angulo.
Trabajadores, comerciantes y transportistas.
Workers, traders, and carriers mobilize in Peru to demand security and to question the power sharing that ended with the unexpected resignation of Premier Gustavo Adrianzen.
Renuncia del Premier Gustavo Adrianzen.
We know very well that the president is not there by the approval of the citizens, by the popular vote. She is there by a decision of the right-wing and ultra-right parties that govern from the Congress. In Peru, there is no longer a balance of powers, so these parties put pressure on the president so that she will give them some ministries.
En el paro del sur se demanda gas.
The Southern Strike demands gas for the people, the elimination of mining projects such as Tia Maria and La Tapada, and the rejection of water privatization. There is an indignation that is also expressed in the streets from the very day that the president was sworn and the people took to the streets. She arrived with massive protests and the people have not stopped demonstrating. What I do believe is that this destabilizing potential of the streets is contained by the Congress and the political forces that are determined not to let go of power and maintain the situation, I believe, until 2026.
La indignación ciudadana crece debido a que en medio de esta
Citizen indignation is growing because in the midst of this crisis the president has asked Congress to be at the enthronement of Louis XIV and also seeks to double her own salary. It is not only the south, today the north, today Chimbote is also following the measure in the south of Peru. Several departments are coming out to protest, and the right to protest is a fundamental right that our political constitution recognizes, as well as the American Convention of Human Rights, and it must be highlighted as a right. Because precisely in our country this right has not been guaranteed, and on the contrary it has been contravened with the Constitution, with conventions, and we have had the result of this, for example in the protests of 2022-2023, 50 assassinations.
Para los analistas consultados,
For the analysts consulted, the new changes in the cabinet are the result of negotiations made with the people's backs turned. It is a dramatic situation for the country. One believes that it has already reached the bottom and it continues to reach the bottom. The resignation of the premier and the cabinet reshuffle show us that nothing is changing. On the contrary, things are going to continue getting worse. The levels of hired killings and insecurity are very high. The indignation and at the same time the questioning of the government's inaction is growing. According to experts, Peru has a government with no clear direction whose president only seeks to survive.
Desde Lima para teleSUR, Ramiro Angulo Maquiavelo.